carries lots of clout when it comes to trade.
In fact, its economy is worth nearly $3 trillion. Can you picture that?
Yeah, and they're a very important trading partner with South Africa. Let's get some perspective now with our colleague Michael Merilia.
Yeah, Michael, you're going to explain about trade relations between SA and the UK and who stands to get what out of all of this? Who
Yeah,
most,
absolutely, Yuveka and Bradan. A very good morning to you. Let's take a quick look at the size of these two economies. First of all, you mentioned Britain, $2.94 trillion. It really is a massive economy. In fact, it's the 5th biggest economy in the world. Let's quickly compare it to our own economy, which has been growing rather sluggishly over the last few years. What is Cyril Ramaphosa bringing to the table at these negotiations? Well, our economy worth about $370 billion. Just to put it in perspective, the UK economy roughly 7 times bigger than our own. So the UK, from a trading perspective, certainly very important, and we'll want to make the most of these trade talks. Now let's take a quick look at our exports. Exports, of course, being crucial to an economy because they bring us foreign exchange. And if you look at June 2018, interestingly enough, the UK was the top market in terms of South African exports. China second and the USA third. Just to stress, though, that is fairly unusual. Of course, trade tends to fluctuate month to month. But let's take a quick look at the year 2016 as we change our graphic. And this gives you a better view of the long-term trading pattern. So China very much our top buyer when it comes to buying South African products. And you'll see there the UK not even in the top 5. So certainly there is room for improvement when it comes to this relationship. No doubt Cyril Ramaphosa will be wanting to get more South African products exported to the UK, generating more income for South African businesses. Let's very quickly move on. And this has been, I must say, quite a good relationship for South Africa. If you look at the slice of the pie, in other words, how much are we exporting to the UK and how much are we buying from the UK? South Africa actually has the stronger side of that relationship. As you can see, $3.15 billion worth of exports to the UK. What are we buying from Britain? Just over $2.15 billion worth of goods and services. So historically, certainly, it's been a pretty good relationship. Finally, Bradan and Duveka, we wanted to take a look at this. Of course, the UK focusing on Brexit. It will be establishing all sorts of deals across the world now as it prepares itself for that reality in March 2019. And we just wanted to compare the size of economies around the world, figuring out where do we fit in the bigger picture, how important are we to the United Kingdom. And this represents GDP in terms of dollars. There you can see us at the bottom there, a relatively small dot compared to the rest of the world. But crucially, we are one of the biggest dots in Africa. And trade analysts are telling us that South Africa does represent a gateway for a lot of economies like the UK, which are trying to get investment into the rest of the continent. And we do know Theresa May is heading to Nigeria tomorrow. So that's an important part of the equation as she starts this trip into Africa.
All right, thanks very much, Michael Merilia, just telling us why it's important. If you're wondering of what use is Theresa May's visit to South Africa, why are they important friends to have? Well, there you have some of the numbers. Yeah.